is?
Robert Connery Martinez.
He looks more like a Connor than a Robert.
Everyone calls him Connor. But if his first name was The
Connor.
Are you the Connor Martinez? Yes, I am. Nice to meet you. Whoa, and then if everyone's listening at school when they're checking him in, grab his dad or his mom must be someone. That's the Connor Martinez.
But I think that's great for like introduction, but then post, how do you
That's how you introduce
with the...
You don't.
You call them by their middle name.
You don't. Oh, what's your how many times? I just found out your middle name now. So see, it doesn't come up that often. I think we need to discuss at some point Unfug.
You like Unfug.
I do.
Do you not?
That it's the last name. I love it. In fact,
I don't think you do.
It's going to be super hard to part with when I do marry. Like I'm almost considering maybe like
don't hyphen.
Trying to keep it.
I hope you marry an Asian by the name of Lee, and you hyphenate your name. You're a Kyle Unfug Lee.
That's brilliant. In fact, I'm going to use that as a potential
name. The opposite of fugly. Unfugly.
You are Unfugly.
Unfugly. I love your last name is Unfug. I really like it.
Thank you.
I like to say it on my own by myself over and over again. But anyway, so what I'm saying about the negative baby names, I just don't want to name the kid something that one of our listeners could be like, every time I hear that name, every time I meet somebody with that name, they're a jerk.
Yeah.
Right. See what I'm saying?
You don't want to curse the kid before they're born.
I'm kind of preemptive striking around everything.
It's like when you meet a girl named Jennifer, you know you can automatically sleep with her.
What?
No, we did that a long time ago. We did that. Remember that we did that thing?
Yeah.
Girls named Jennifer are like really easy.
Yeah. We offend everybody with a name.
Oh my God! Speaking of Jennifers, let's say there's a Jenna on the line. Jenna.
Hey guys, I've got the worst name in the world.
Go, bring it.
All right, I work at a police station, so I see a lot of names on the police reports on a daily basis.
Yep.
And I saw a girl's name once, and her first name, no joke, was Rose Puckett, all one word.
Rose Puckett?
Rose Puckett. And you know that's got to be like a family name, but why would you ever do that to your child?
Well, here's a good question. Since you work at a police station, what name do you see the most on the reports? Because then that would mean maybe your kid's going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
Ooh. Lots of Williams. Of course.
See, Bill.
And
there you go.
I don't know why, but I feel like I've seen a lot of Chads recently.
Chad.
Chad.
Yeah, that makes sense,
The
though.
Chad.
I think it's a frat boy name because I work at the U of A police department, so I get a lot of the frat boys.
I have an issue with guys named Shannon.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Why so?
I just knew a guy named Shannon in junior high, and he was a wuss.
See, if I named my kid Shannon, you'd be thinking about the wuss guy, right?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Right.
Yeah, not cool.
Maggie in Gilbert, you're on the air. What name should Rich stay away from?
Absolutely. In labor and delivery, I'm a nurse there, and the names that just need to be put away and we should just be able to say no to is Aiden and Madison.
Yeah.
It's saying you're a boy or a girl. Just stop it. It's not original. It's not cute. It's done. Be done.
Aiden and Madison are like the new, what are the names that like everyone was naming? There's like a million
Tristan and
Stephanies.
Mariah.
I have like 7 Stephanie friends.
Yeah, Tristan and Mariah are big ones, too.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, all the Tristans, I keep on hearing, that's one of the other ones my kid's teacher brought up, said all the Tristans are behavior problems.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what name? When
That's not good.
I just think of people that have screwed me over. So whenever I hear this name, I always think of this person. So whatever you do not name your kid Glenn. Rich and I have a lawyer named Glenn.
I don't see that happening.
It's Rich and I have a lawyer named Glenn who I actually hope dies in a fire. Is
All
that
right,
bad?
stop
say
that.
Is that bad? Is that bad?
John Jay,
that.
the bishop is listening.
I asked the bishop if we could say a prayer and hope that this guy dies in a fire.
No, you did not.
I held the bishop's hand after he said the prayer for my mom's cancer. I go, can I see you over here for a second? There's a guy I would like. Is there any way you can make him burn?
My God.
He's shaking
Have
his
you
head at
learned
you
nothing
right now.
about that stuff? You're not supposed to do that.
Oh yeah,
That's
no,
bad
but-
karma. I wouldn't wish that on
Oh no,
anyone.
you know, I have a call from Tim now.
You know
somebody in
you're
my
gonna get a
family,
call.
somebody in my family is going to burn,
Yeah,
and now he's going to go.
you
Tim's
need
going
to
to
be
go.
careful.
Oh, see what
How's
happens.
that feel? Have a great day.
How's it feel now that your sister burned?
Yeah, you cannot pray
Yeah,
for people to
don't do
die in a
that.
fire.
I do with a bishop, and I'm waiting. Donna in Tempe. What name should
You
Rich?
get those nuns motivated to do a prayer circle about that?
He's like, now that I know a bishop, here's a list of people I hate. Can you pray bad things for them?
See, yeah, Glenn. I would never name it. Nothing against Glenn's, but the only Glenn we know was not
because of that. You would not
because of
name
that,
it, right? You would
yeah,
not name
it. Can be an isolated incident, absolutely.
Donna, who should Rich stay away from?
I don't care what he names the child, but don't do any of that jacked up spelling thing where you put a Z for an S or a K for a C or some weird vowel combination that makes no sense.
Don't try to church it up there, Rich.
You don't have to worry about me. My son's name is Joe. How hard is that? He knew how to spell that before he was 1.
Spelled Joee with a silent J.
A-Z-Y. whatever. Yeah, don't do that.
Don't get cute is what you're saying. That's what all the doctors always tell you is that whenever you get a patient in and they've got a cute name, you want to actually prescribe something for the children that's not good.
Hey, I know you're thinking you're having a girl, and I don't know if that's what you're leaning towards, if that's what you want.
I actually changed my mind. I think it's a boy now based on the facial structure of the sonogram.
But the girl you got like visited in your prayers and at night in your dreams, little girl saying,
That's
Daddy,
true.
I'm coming on.
That's
all this
true.
Stuff. So you were thinking it was a girl. I hope it's a boy because I think I know what you'll name the kid if it's a boy.
What?
And I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
Bud.
Bud would be
You name it
super
after your
cool.
Uncle Bud.
Yeah,
and how cool would it
absolutely.
be to have a little boy named Joe, a little boy named Bud?
Isn't that cool?
Bud Barra.
A little running around. And my wife was pitching me Sarah for a girl so she could be Sarah Barra.
If you
Oh, my God.
if you name your kid Bud, are you going to start sitting on your couch with one hand in your pocket watching TV or one hand in the front of your pants? TV?
Even frogs can say your kid's name if your kid's name is Bud.
Come on, have
Married
you
with children?
You've considered Bud, right?
I have.
How awesome would that
Yeah.
be?
That'd be way cool. Uncle Bud rules, man.
I just think of Bud Bundy when I think of that.
Well, then you don't have to ever call the child by his name then.
I'll be like,
Kyle.
hey, you. Hey.
I want to
Hey,
use.
don't get
you know,
all offended.
Whenever
You
somebody-
started this thing, okay?
I know. That's the whole
Get all
point.
snappy
Whenever
with
somebody
me.
cusses on our show, instead of using a bleep button or whatever, I just want to have a sound effect of unfog. Kyle, unfog. Somebody cuss, unfog, unfog. It's
That
like
was
you're
the most
almost cussing.
It sounds like a
segment
bad
ever.
word.
Yeah, from now on, instead of whenever we need to say a cuss word, we say unfug because that's Kyle's last
With-
name.
with
and
your
it's-
approval.
And it sounds
Sure.
dirty. No, even if you don't get the job, we move on. Unfug. Where the unfug is Lindsay,
That totally works for me.
right?
Totally works for me.
I like it. It's funny.
Ryan in Vancouver. What should Rich stay away from?
I wanted to say about Glenn, he's a lawyer. He'll burn soon enough.
Very nice. Thank you. That's a good point. Good point.
The names,
Yeah.
Lila for a girl, awful.
Really?
I hate that name.
Really? I
It
kinda like it.
reminds me of Delilah.
Oh, the
And
DJ?
it's just a horrible name. I just can't stand it. But
Lila.
also, Emery for a boy.
Oh.
That's a god-awful name.
I don't dislike either of those, but is there somebody that you met that drove you nuts with those names, or you just don't like them?
I've got a coworker named Emery, and he was the biggest idiot that we ever dealt with, and luckily he just quit.
Yeah, all it takes is one bad apple to ruin
Yeah.
a name for
Yeah,
you.
you know,
It's
you can't say if someone throws a name your way, you can't say, well, hey, I don't have a problem with that name because they're telling you the problem. The name they have these problems. These people.
Yeah, but he didn't bring up an example until just then.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
I've got a friend that named her daughter Lila Rose,
Oh boy.
and just the name Lila with any flower name, just awful.
You know that.
I can't stand flower names either.
You know that theory, that whole, you know, the opposite of The Secret, where you put out, like we said, we don't want a white T-shirt,
Yeah.
and you get a T-shirt.
Yeah.
What if you say this is the name I don't want to name my kid, and somehow your kid's named that, right?
I thought about that. I know it's negative. I know it's totally negative.
I mean, like I said, I remember I grew up. There's redheaded boys bothered the hell out of me when I was a little kid. I didn't want to be with them. I hated them. I didn't want them. The redheads bother me.
That Bill kid that I didn't like, redhead.
I'm married to a redhead, and I have a redheaded kid.
It's like that
Right?
South Park episode with the gingers.
I've never seen that. I got to see that. But what if you don't want to name your kid George,
Uh-huh.
and no matter what happens, Christy's like, this is George.
What?
No.
No, you fell asleep. They needed a name. That's what ended up in the birth
Right.
certificate. He stuck.
Right.
Oh, yeah. You
Christina
could
in
be
Tucson.
screwed.
Things that you should not name them. There's two of them. There's Michelle and Lisa. All the Michelles and Lisas that I met have been slutty, trashy, and very mean.
See, that's
Okay,
good for me to know.
my sister's name's Lisa, and she is none of the
I thought
above.
she said Misha.
No, I said Lisa.
Oh, Lisa.
Your sister's not a slut at all?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Older or younger?
She's older.
They've always been mean and slutty, and they don't care about if they do anything with other people's men.
I actually have a theory
Oh.
about Lisa's and Jennifer's. They can go either way. They're either great or totally not great.
Do you know that all Lisas, no matter how old you are older than you? Thanks, Christina.
That's
Do
a
the
medical
math.
fact.
Medical
the math.
fact. All right, so I think we got a good round there.
Yeah,
we had
it's
a
a
really
good round.
of
Thank you,
names
everybody.
Not to name your kid.
That's good help.
That's very not the secret.
I know. It's completely opposite.